If you're anything like me, you are struggling to get painter's tape to work. You're going for a beautiful, crisp, clean line, and instead you are getting a splotchy, blotchy mess. Not at all what you're looking for. I just went through this problem over there in a bedroom I was painting for another project, and I had to stop, learn a few tips, retry it, and I'd rather just save you the time. I'll share the tips with you and help you get a much better result. All right, so let's dive into the 5 tips on using painter's tape and making that work for you. And just after that, I'm going to talk about the tape that I found to work best and give you a bit of a recommendation there. So, tip number 1. When you're putting it on, don't try to do a huge strip at the same time, unless you're super good at this already, in which case, why are you watching this video? But if you're like me, a beginner, and you're trying to make this work, go with a smaller piece of tape. I know it's going to take more time, but it's going to be worth it. You want to put that smaller piece on, keep it straight on the edge, don't stretch the tape, and that's going to help you get the line you need. And then the second tip is press that edge down on the tape with some kind of tool. I used a spoon and that worked really well. Anything like that, putty knife, whatever, is going to do the trick. Just take that utensil, go along the edge of the tape, and get that seal pressed down. Then tip number 3. So just to double down on that seal, one trick is to take a damp cloth or sponge and then run along that tape once again. Especially on the frog tape that I'm using, that's really designed to have the seal get even more activated when you run that damp cloth along that. By the way, if you're finding this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you. So tip number 4 is when you're actually painting, don't apply the paint too thick. That might create this tendency for that paint to get glommed onto the tape. You don't want that. That can end up with you pulling off some of the paint when you peel the tape off. So put a nice moderate layer on, not too thick. And then 5th, when you are done painting, I'm sure it looks gorgeous, make sure that you peel that tape off before the paint is fully dry. So do it the same day, within a few hours. That's going to make sure that you don't end up with essentially peeling paint off while you're peeling the tape off. And also make sure that you don't get as much opportunity for the tape to stick onto the surface and damage the trim or whatever you were protecting. So peel that tape off within a couple of hours before it's fully dried, and make sure that you're doing it slowly and going at a bit of an angle, and that will help you get the result that you want. So here's the result we got. It did take a little bit of work to do all that setup with the painter's tape, but it did come out so much better, and it's definitely worth taking the time to do it. Now, which painter's tape should you go for? Which is the best? There's blue, there's yellow, there's frog tape, there's scotch. There's a whole bunch of options out there. The one that we ended up going with is this green frog tape. It can be a little bit more expensive, but it is worth the price. I think it's not that much more, and you get a better result here. I am going to put a link to this in the description, so go ahead and check that out. Click the link to buy it right on Amazon. I hope this was super helpful and you can now use these tips to get the result that you want on your next painting project. Please leave a comment below and let us know how it went for you, whether these tips are helpful, and if you have any other tips to add. Thanks so much, and we'll see you in another video soon. Bye.